Judge's Corner is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the best online retailer for Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product, and GatheringMagic.com, your place to explore the game. Now it's time for Judge's Corner.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Judge's Corner, Viewer Questions, where we take a look at some interesting questions and help explain them for our viewers. Our first question today is actually a really interesting question that I get asked at every single competitive event I ever attend. Adam asked, I'm attending my first Grand Prix soon, and I was curious to know how I should register and submit my deck list. Adam, you have no idea how frequently I hear this one. Typically, for a constructed event, you'll either write your deck list up in advance or write it on a provided deck list sheet at the event. You'll hold on to it until you're seated for the player meeting, where you'll be instructed by the head judge to review your list to make sure everything on it's correct. Then, you'll relinquish it to one of the judges going around to collect them.
All right, judges, you may begin to collect lists.
If you're playing in a limited event, you'll register your sealed pool on the list provided, pass it as instructed to another player, and then record your deck from the pool that you received in exchange. Judges will then go around and collect lists once either time runs out or you finish. If you have a sleep-in special or buys for an event that offers that, you'll need to speak with the judges or the event coordinators about how they wish to collect your deck list. But I'm seeing more and more events take lists on Fridays in that case. Good luck at your Grand Prix. The next viewer asked, if I have my commander in play and my opponent has no creatures under their control, may I attack with my Tyrant's Familiar even though I have nothing to target with its triggered ability? You definitely may attack. The ability is a triggered ability and not a restriction preventing you from attacking like Ghostly Prison. The ability will trigger and start to be put on the stack, but once you reach the third step in placing the trigger on the stack, you'll find that there are no targets, so the entire trigger is removed from the stack completely. The attack won't be reversed, and the damage from the trigger can't be dealt later on if your opponent flashes in a creature after the attack. Evan asked, if I sacrifice Generator Servant to add 2 colorless mana to my mana pool, may I use one of the colorless to cast one creature and the other to cast another creature, giving them both haste? I've never actually thought about doing that before. Yes, you definitely can spread out the mana between 2 different creatures, endowing each creature with a little bit of haste mana. Suddenly, Generator Servant seems a little bit better. Ignite asked, if something triggers from paying the cost of an activated ability, does the trigger go on the stack before the ability or at the same time? For example, if I sacrifice a Kitchen Finks to pay for a Birthing Pod's activated ability, does the Persist trigger go on the stack before the Birthing Pod's ability, meaning it'll resolve after I search for a creature? Or can I choose the order in which these 2 events are placed on the stack? Nothing can go on the stack in the middle of things resolving, sparing a few obscure examples in which they explicitly say they can. So, while the trigger can trigger, it'll be held over until the current ability is finished being put on the stack. In your example, the Persist trigger will trigger once the cost is paid in the 7th and final step in activating the ability, and will be held onto until all other costs are paid and the ability is officially on the stack. Then, you'll use active player, non-active player to place any other waiting triggers onto the stack, in this case, just the single Persist trigger. This means the Kitchen Finks will actually wind up returning to play before the pod's ability fetches another creature. One last question I've been asked a couple of times is, David, when are you going to be doing an episode on the layers? And the answer to that is part of my 2015 New Year's resolution is to cover an episode on the layers, or the continuous effects, and the order in which they're applied. We'll be taking a look at that episode sometime soon in 2015. So, that concludes our episode. If you have any questions about this episode or any questions in general, you can send us an email at judgescorner@gatheringmagic.com or leave a comment below, and I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. If you like this video, we'd also appreciate it if you click the thumbs up icon and give it a like. It really helps our channel out a lot. And until next time, make sure to shuffle thoroughly, play at a reasonable pace, and Happy New Year's.